Hello, hi, namaskar and welcome to Super Talk with Priyanka Gupta. कभी ठंड में ठिठुर कर देख लेना, कभी तपती धूप में चल के देख लेना, कैसे होती है हिफाजत मुल्क की, कभी सरहद पर चल के देख लेना। जी हाँ, आज हमारे बीच एक ऐसी हस्ती मौजूद है जिन्होंने खून पसीना एक कर दिया हमारे वतन की रक्षा करने में। भारत माँ के वीर Colonel Aditya Singhal, now a veteran having 33 years of experience in armed forces. Hello sir, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hello Priyanka, thank you very much. I'm really honored to be here with you on your show. It is actually a feeling of proud moment for me to be with you.
The pleasure is all mine, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You are on this beautiful mission to coach, mentor and guide the youth to excel in their career of their choices. And you also guide them how to get selected in the armed forces. Sir, I would like to know, what is your opinion? What are the key factors to be considered in mind to get selected in the armed forces? What is your message to the youth?
So what I feel about this is that today armed forces are one of the most restricted profession in our country and across the world, and especially the youth who want to join the armed forces. The feeling has to come from inside. It is like if you are dedicated, you are hardworking, you are sincere about your work, and you are passionate about what you want to do. You can succeed in whatever career you choose for yourself, whether it is armed forces or any other profession. But yes, that fire has to come from inside. That is the most important thing which is required by anybody. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So this fire, can it be like अगर किसी के अंदर नहीं है शुरू में, for example, but he or she wants to work in armed forces.
Yeah.
So by your life coaching, by your mentorship, by your guidance, by your this program you are conducting, PACE and ACE. So is it possible कि हमें वो proper मार्गदर्शन मिलेगा and we will have that zeal and the requirements, we will fulfill it? कैसे हमें SSB का इंटरव्यू में सेलेक्ट होना है, ये सारे आप गाइडेंस देते हैं, right?
So like I or any coach for that matter, whoever is guiding anyone who wants to join the armed forces, we can guide them, we can tell them about the procedure, we can also tell them how to prepare for it. But ultimately, it all matters to the person who's wanting to join the armed forces, because when they are when they are writing their written examination first, and thereafter when they go for the SSB interview, वहाँ it is his or her own inner self will come out, and if they have the confidence, if they have prepared well, they will be able to excel. And in case they try to be different from what they really are, then they may find it difficult. But that's why whenever anybody comes to me, first thing I ask them, are you really serious about what you want to do? Because if you have your focus, then you can achieve whatever you want to do. And as a coach, my task is to guide you about the entire process and help you prepare better, so that when you go there, you're not lacking in any of those aspects. And Baki, ultimately, it is your own hard work, how seriously you have prepared, and how confident you present yourself in front of the entire board while undergoing various tasks and various tests, and that will finally decide your result.
Wow, that's great. So when a person gets through that selection process, what is your experience, like how an army man gets trained with respect to handling emotions and duties and all the challenges that come across, and that too at the same time?
So like if I talk about myself, so when we like for an officer, the training is of a different kind. For a Jawan who joins as a young soldier, the training is slightly different. The soldier, it is he has to do his work, and he has to do it seriously, and that's all. But whereas as an officer, when you're joining, so you have to learn, acquire a lot of skills, since you are more, I would say, educated, you have got more qualification, and you also have a different criteria for selection of jawans and selection of officers. So there, when we go join the academy, first thing we are taught is that we have to break our ego. That is the first thing that you have to do. Because if you carry your ego anywhere, then you cannot be successful in any kind of a position. And especially in the armed forces, we have to have that human touch, because you are dealing with human beings 24/7. When you get commissioned, when you join your unit, so you are staying with your men, you are spending your life with them. It becomes one big family. And if I have to lead my men, I have to set certain standards. I have to earn my respect in front of them. That is very important. So that is where your human factor, human touch, and also you have to be better than them in every aspect of the I would say warfare or the profession, whether depending on which arm or service you have joined. You have to know your equipment, you have to know your men, you have to not only know the person, but you have to know everything about his family, where he belongs to, how, and all these things matter a lot, because they are away from their families, you are away from your family, and when you're out there in the battlefield, you are there to look after each other. There is no third person will come to help you out. So
Right.
that trust has to be built within it.
Wow, that's beautiful. And as an ex-army man and who have worked in the administrative assignments, what is your opinion? Like, what role does emotional intelligence play in a person's life in both personal and professional scenarios?
So Priyanka, I think in the present environment which we are living in, emotional intelligence or emotional quotient is very, very important, because unless we understand the other person, because most of the time what I felt that we do is we think of everything from our point of view. And the moment we start thinking about from our point of view, and we do not understand the point of view of the person who we want him or her to do that particular task, so you have to actually convince that person that what you are doing is why you are doing, especially in the present day environment. And once a person is convinced, he or she will put in 200% more effort and get success in whatever task is being given to them. So it is, I feel, relevant both in the armed forces and outside in the corporate sector also. Like general, what I have seen while I have been interacting with people outside, like who are working in the corporate sector, for them the word HR is like a dreaded word. Especially, they say if any call is there from the HR, means there's something wrong there, or so that is where that emotional factor comes into play.
Okay.
That is my. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, like, I have always have a huge respect for the army people. Like, I'm so thrilled to have you on my show. I can say that. But I have always wanted to know, what is exactly the life of an army man? Like, would you please share your experience when you were in army, when you were leading that job, when you were in the field, or were like inspiring people, training people, working in the assignments to save our country? What were your experiences? Like, can you please share?
So Priyanka, like what I felt like in my case especially, I joined the armored regiment. My regiment is 68 armored regiment, and when I joined my regiment, from the beginning, right from the day I joined, we were initially, in our younger days, we were supposed to be seen and not heard. So that means that wherever you are supposed to be, you have to reach there 15 minutes before the event time. You have to participate in each and every activity with your men who you are commanding, whether it is related to your equipment, whether it is related to PT, physical games, activities, playing games, everything. So you have to know them fully well. And so once you are participating, you're doing everything what they are supposed to do with them. They also have a confidence in you, and that trust also is built up. So that is one thing which we realize. And secondly, the thing is, most of us, irrespective whether you are in the army or the navy or the air force, you are away from your home. You are part of your regiment, so that unit becomes your family. So that becomes your first family, and the rest, everybody takes a secondary role in your life. And even though as you grow up in service, as you grow up in your rank and get more experience, you realize that you have your duty comes first. You are 24 hours on duty. It's not like you come to the office from 9 o'clock. You come some places where office timings are 9 to 5. People come at 10 and leave at 4. Here your 9 to 5 is your official time. Beyond that, also 24 hours you're on duty. You can get a call anytime for anything, and you have to be present. So you have to be mentally conditioned to that. Same is the case with the men also. At times people ask if at peace time there's no war going, what are you doing? So there may not be any war, but you're training for war. You're supposed to be ready. That you are, when a situation arises, you are mobilized at a short notice, and you're ready to face any kind of action. So our entire life is spent in training, and now in addition, upgrading your qualification, upgrading your expertise. And in addition, you also go out in the field because certain things you cannot do where you are in a peace station. So you go out for, like in our case, we used to go to the deserts every year for 3 to 4 months. We used to carry out field firing, we used to practice our various drills and activities. So you're spending maximum time with them. And so you're living their life, and similarly those who are deployed in the valley or on the line of control in high altitude areas, their life is much more tougher. Because not only are they away from their families, and now things are still better, but though earlier there was no communication, so mental toughness is one of the most important aspects which one has to train ourselves, and that pulls you through in every field.
Wow. So I always wonder, do you miss your families while being in job? Because what I have heard in the stories or the incidents, I have come to know you cannot leave the place of your posting until or unless you have been sanctioned a prior leave or something. So if some emergency comes up in the home, or somebody is in urgent need of so you are a father, you are a son, you are a husband, you are a friend to people, you are a social person, then how do you deal such scenarios? How do you cope up with such incidents when you are not able to go to home immediately when the call comes up?
So Priyanka, there have been instances which every one of us has faced these kind of situations. So your families also understand we call it as exigencies of service. So at times it has happened with most of us that most of the time, whenever there is an important occasion, whether it is a birthday or a celebration, in our case, all our New Year's were spent in the desert, because that is the time we were out on exercise. So that's it. So it is part of life, and so whenever we used to get a chance to spend with our family, so we used to make the best out of it. Similarly, when you're posted in the peace station, your families are staying with you, but still, then at least off office hours, you are there with them. But when you're posted in a field area, family is staying somewhere else, either with their parents or in a station where the family competition is there. So that is why when you go on leave, you spend time with them. Plus nowadays it has become easier because of the mobile, and communication is much better. Internet connectivity is also improved. But earlier these things were not there, so it was part of life. So along with your family also get used to that kind of a life. They know, they understand, and they also they have to adjust to those situations. So whenever you are together, that is the time you make the best use of that time. So that is how things carry on.
Wow, that's a beautiful message. So, sir, today is 16th May. And I remember in 2005, on this very day, you were being awarded by this President's Standard by the President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, right? So congratulations first of all for that. And will you please share what What was this occasion, and how are you feelings about it?
So Priyanka, what happens is there's a system in the armed forces wherein every unit is awarded after a few years, like after once they have completed and after they have a unit is raised, and once they have reached a particular level of type. So every unit, because of its exemplary service to the nation, they are awarded the standard by the president. Earlier it used to be called color presentation by the president, because the president is the supreme commander of the armed forces. So we are directly under the president of India. He gives us, he signs a commission when we get commissioned in the army. So every unit gets that earlier it was, like I mentioned, president. Now it is called standard by the president. So you have a proper, it is a very detailed ceremony wherein we have conducted a parade. Like in our case, since we have time, so we had a mounted parade. The president comes there. There is a proper formal occasion, and those president's colors are given to the unit, and those are sacred for us. So it's like your national flag. The moment it comes to you, you have to when you're in formal stand at attention, salute the same. And it is like if you must have remembered in the olden days, you must have seen old war movies or even the other movies wherein they say any war they carry some pennant or some insignia with them. Every army.
Oh wow.
Similarly, this is like that. This has been awarded to us by the president. It is a matter of great honor for it. So, like our regiment got it on 16 May 2005. That time we were in Bathinga, and we prepared for almost over a year and a half. For that, it was a big occasion. Along with the president, the chief and the chief minister of Punjab. That time again, Mr. Captain Amarinder Singh was the Chief Minister of Punjab. He himself is an ex-army man, so it was a major occasion for us. And,
that's a moment of pride and honor.
Or a big occasion, you can say. Yeah.
Right. How do you feel today when you recall all those precious moments? Now you were living in that moment, and now, like, how do you feel? Obviously energetic, obviously beautiful, but
it gives you a feeling of satisfaction that being part of that particular occasion, we worked hard for it, and you were present when the president came to us, and you got a chance to interact with him. And Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was such a simple man, and I have not seen such a great.
He was such a genuine person.
He was such a gem of a person, and he had no airs about him, and very simple. And it was an honor for each one of us to have met him and interacted with him at that particular moment.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's commendable job you have done. So, sir, you have worked with network administration and cyber security. Mm-hmm. So, what is your opinion and importance of artificial intelligence in today's life?
So, Priyanka, network administration and cyber security, I had done a course from CTEC when I was posted here in Pune only. And so we also, especially in the present environment, cyber security is one of the most important aspects for each one of us. Because all our systems are dependent upon network related thing, and artificial intelligence, I feel, is part of our life now. It is like, for example, your mobile phone. It is all based upon your artificial intelligence. All your electronic gadgets, they are based on that. You can activate your TV, your beverage, your AC by your voice using either Alexa or any such device. So it is become a part of our life, and it has actually simplified our life a lot, especially for us who are living in the metros and the other places, and it come as a big boon also. However, there are certain other aspects also related to artificial intelligence wherein your life is not private anymore.
Yeah.
That is the other.
That's true. Side effects, I can say.
Like even like if you are talking across the this internet and through the lens of our laptop, but they say when we are not doing it, everything is being recorded. Like if your Alexa is on, or whatever you speak is recorded in the device. Similarly, even your laptop camera, if it is not switched off, automatically there are certain apps running in the background which keep on recording whatever is happening around you. So that way, the people do find it a little bit, threat on their privacy also. But yes, otherwise, in certain fields, it has become a big boon, especially in the field of medical sciences, and also for police, and in terms of monitoring of your crop patterns, and there's so many other things wherein artificial intelligence has made life very easy for every one of us.
Yeah, that's true. And in I have read somewhere in some article, like artificial intelligence have a scope to be used. It can be used in the borders or the armies, where it can replace humans, and the lives are the soldiers are losing because of any disturbance in the borders. Then humans' lives can get saved, and we can get some robots to fight with the enemies or something like that. I want to know, can we really do that? Yeah, is it possible?
So, Priyanka, I think in the true sense, it may not be possible. You must have watched these movies, that science fiction movies, and the movies like Transformers, and wherein all these people, aliens taking over the planet. So that part is that thing's quite far off. But yes, there are certain areas wherein these robots can be utilized, especially when you are dealing with the counter-insurgency operations, wherein you are there's some ID you have to find out. So if you send a robot to find it, then at least you can save lives. So that way, they cannot replace the human element, but they can definitely supplement your work, and they can also help you prevent loss of life in every area, not only on borders, even other ways also. Like we have these drones, and we have other UAVs which are available to most of the armies around the world. So they that way, you want to get intelligence, you want to get information about any other enemy elements, or even for the counter-insurgency operations. So that these things are going to be a big role for us. And you never know, maybe another 50 years from now, certain areas may be replaced by robots. As it is in the manufacturing sector, already robots are being used widely.
Yeah. That's true. Today, the world is suffering from this pandemic. Okay, it's kind of a battle we are going through.
Absolutely.
And you have been posted in real battles, in the fields, at the places of where actually the enemy is in front of our eyes, and we have to take an action, and we are kind of scared, we are struggling, we are full of challenges and all. So today, what message would you want to give all of us, to all the world out there, how to deal with such a scary and the situation where each one of us is having anxiety and this feeling of uncertainty? How can we deal with this? What message would you give to us?
Priyanka, I think here your mental strength plays a big role. So one has to learn to be mentally strong. And one more thing which I realized, which the present day generation is missing, is that since most of us are staying away from our families, or we are following that nuclear family system. So most of us who are working alone, staying alone, we are missing that support of our families. So that is one thing which does create a feeling of anxiety, and because you're not sure. Actually, nobody has been able to find out the cause. Nobody has been able to deal with the present situation. We are still learning how to deal with it. So mental strength is one thing which one has to build up. And of course, another plus point is that if you are sitting at home and working from home, yes, your work timings have increased, but you also get able to spend more time with your family. Like in the normal time, you were going to office at 9 o'clock, coming back at 10, and then you're totally exhausted. You just want to go watch a movie or go off to sleep. Now you're at least getting time to spend with your children, with your family, with your parents. So the thing is, one has to try and make the best use of whatever things are available right now, and don't think too much about what is going to happen. So these things are not in your or my control. If till now, if it's been almost about a year and a half and we are safe, we have still not contracted COVID, so we should be thankful for that, and we should. I think gratitude is one thing which one has to regulate. There are a lot of spiritual aspects come into play. And people will go start doing yoga, they do meditation. The thing is, you have to keep your mind occupied so that you do not think about the other aspects. And there's too much of information overload these days, that also is creating anxiety among people. And one is that, plus lots of rumors and also are floating around.
So, that's true. That's so true.
So one should not take, especially the forward which we keep on receiving on the WhatsApp. One should not just not read them. Don't even read them and just ignore them, and keep it simple. And one has to look about the positive aspects of life, and that way we'll be able to overcome that. And like they say, tough time never lasts, but the tough time people always do.
Wow.
I think we say this too shall pass. So if we follow this adage, I think we would be able to overcome this. If not this year, maybe by next year things would be better than what they are today.
For now, actually, each one of us is a soldier, and this is a battle of pandemic, right? And we have to keep going and keep moving with the same strength and the same energy. That's so wonderful message you have given. Sir, it was a moment of pride and honor and pleasure to have you on this show. You have given such a valuable and the suggestions with the totally different perspective you have given us. And I would say all the best to the journey you are on.
Thank you.
To coach all these youngsters to join the army and rock like you. That's amazing. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thanks a lot for having me on your show, and it's been a great honor and amazing experience interacting with you. Thank you very much, Priyanka.
Thank you. All the best, sir.